the boos and jeers for this man stepping into the ring.
Here at the archives, I don't really have anything from the Iron Sheik. And a lot of the reason behind that is, as far as the WWE goes, he was a part of that transition to national prominence, right? He was a little bit of an earlier generation.
And I don't think he could do it on his own.
He is slowed down a little bit. I don't think he does much traveling.
Yeah. KHOSROW, the Iron Sheik, can't go on the road and go looking for things. His health doesn't permit it. But having somebody involved in that is as passionately connected to it as Sheik would be. Next best person is Sarge.
When I first met him, he was in Bert Gagne's training camp in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I grew up. And that's where I first got my foot into the door, or into the barn, as they say, because there was a training that was going on in the barn. There's chickens and ducks and cows. In the corner of that barn was a wrestling ring.
Stone, good waist lift takedown by VAZIRI.
Friendship grew between me and KHOSROW. When he was having a hard time in the wrestling business to make extra money, my father and I had a roofing company, and he worked for us. He was very quiet, didn't say much of anything, but it was fun to see how little by little he got into his character. This Iranian madman.
You know, there are things in particular that we're looking for. You know, his clubs, Persian clubs.
Okay, here are those incredible clubs that the Iron Sheik has. These things, bear in mind, weigh 75 pounds apiece.
This man just goes on and on. He's got the endurance of 40 people.
I think I know where his Persian clubs are.
Oh, really? Okay.
Back when the Iron Sheik was doing his Persian Club challenge, Bob Backlund was the only man that I ever saw complete the challenge. So he gave the clubs to Bob Backlund.
Knowing Bob, he might be training with him right now.
Exactly.
This looks like the hills have eyes.
Yes.
Where exactly are we?
Wow, this is Bob Backlund's house.
I feel like a chicken wing is not the only thing I need to worry about.
I've been in that a few times, and that's not fun.
Backlund winds it up with that, and there's a chicken wing, and he's got the crossface.
Bob Backlund is one of the greatest, not only professional wrestlers of all time, but the man was a NCAA wrestler. He was an NCAA football player. He was one of the best to ever do it. He was the good American boy.
There's rules and regulations, and I like to go by them.
I hope he let me in his house.
You still got a little heat there?
Oh, yeah.
Slaughter definitely in control. Whoa! Backlund was struck in the face by the swaggered stick.
He wasn't too happy with me, you know, when I gave him the whip.
Sergeant Slaughter, you whipped the heck out of me! You left marks all over my body!
Bob can, you know, snap at any moment.
Backlund like a house on fire. Grabs his head into the turnbuckle.
I know that swagger stick hit Bob Backlund's back more times than he cares to remember.
Wow. Mark all over him. He's bleeding. His back is bleeding.
There was a lot of violence in those feuds, and as the old school guys love to say, red is green. It'll all be worth it as long as he has, and we can potentially leave with those Persian clubs for the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you want? Yeah.
Mr. Backlund.
Yeah. What?
Are we okay? All right, well.
Bob
Where was
Backlund,
I?
are you working out?
I got to do 200 reps.
Mr. Backlund, we,
Oh, Sarge, you whipped me, and it hurt.
And it
And I
hurt.
cried.
It hurt.
You son of a gun! No!
living the gimmick is something that is very common for the older generation of professional wrestlers. Bob Backlund feels like any time that he's being seen, he needs to be that person that people expect to see.
Good, I'll get you in the 10 class. Get it right now. Hey, you.
I know what's coming. Don't get me involved. When he goes into character, it sometimes can be a little dangerous.
Just checking to see if it worked.
I warned you. Sometimes I wonder if it is a character.
When you have fun, you have fun.
Are these Persian clubs?
They're Persian clubs, yes.
That's the ones he used to challenge everybody with.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Bunch of football player, basketball player, high school punk kids. Nobody have a guts to come try at my club. And I'm looking, maybe somebody can show up sooner or later. I pray to Ayatollah.
These clubs in Iranian culture, it's like a normal thing to work out with in order to, you know, get your body looking good. But in the United States, nobody had ever seen anything like that.
As these things, bear in mind, weigh 75 pounds apiece.
Sheik would do this technique where he would whip the clubs around his head, and he would challenge anybody to be able to come do it.
Certainly don't have to even talk about the fact that this man is a bodybuilder and a weightlifter. Okay, having problems just bringing him up.
The only one I ever saw do it. I tried it. I got it about that far.
Mr. Backlund is going to accept the challenge, but I don't think Mr. Backlund even will be able to handle this.
Bob Backlund was the straight-laced, hard-working, good guy. Didn't break the rules, and by golly, he's gonna win.
The Sheik was in the ring with these two clubs, and he's yelling and screaming at the Sarge, at me, at even the fans. You're horrible. You can't do this. You're not strong. You're not smart.
USA,
you're doing it going the wrong way. Vince Sr. came over by me and said, go out and do that. Never tried it before. Never worked out with him before.
Backlund now trying it again. Has him up. Look at this. Backlund, how about that?
And then the Iron Sheik comes in and just goes to hell with that and just beats the shit out of him.
And then the Sheik grabbed me, hit me down, and that hurt my neck.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, no! The Sheik attacking Backlund from behind. The Iron Sheik. Oh, and a kick to the back of the neck. Oh, again.
The Sheik got the belt from me because of that.
So Bob Backlund had been the WWE champion for almost 6 years before that moment.
Well, he had that neck injury, Pat. That altercation that took place on television where he ended up with one of those Persian clubs wrapped around his neck and shoulder.
He was compromised by the Iron Sheik's Persian clubs and then loses the WWE championship to the Iron Sheik.
He's waiting for Bob to sit up so he can grab that camel clutch of his. Now he's got into submission. We have a new champion.
So these Persian clubs are not only a tie to Sheik's culture and crucial to his gimmick, but the Persian clubs are also the catalyst for Sheik's one and only title reign as WWE champion, which makes having a pair of these clubs vital to preserving the legacy of the Iron Sheik.
So these Persian clubs are the original Persian clubs.
Yeah.
So these have a lot of sentimental value to you.
Yeah.
What about those Persian clubs? Because I see that you have more than one set. Both these sets of clubs come from the Iron Sheik.
Yep. He brought him over here. He gave me the clubs because he was amazed that I did it. And he said, you did that, you would be God in my country.
So I have a little bit of a wager for you. If I can complete the Persian Club Challenge, will you allow us to take a set of the Persian clubs back to the WWE warehouse to try to complete out this collection from the Iron Sheik and Sergeant Slaughter?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. These, I'm keeping them for a special reason, but if you can do those, you can have them.
Think you could do it? I didn't drive all this way to go home empty-handed. Move it, Private.
Let's go. Oh, this will be good.
All right. So how do I do this? Is it
Wow,
like that?
not bad.
Oh, he has him up.
You gotta keep them up. You gotta keep them both going.
Oh, okay.
Always up, yeah.
That takes just unbelievable coordination and agility.
That's where you start from there. There you go.
To hold them up. It's all the weights on top of that thing. That's what's making it tougher.
Backlund, look at this.
A little closer in. That's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's doing it.
And it's hard to hold that thing up like that.
There we go. Amazing.
At ease.
So what do you think, Bob? Did AJ pass the test? Is he able to take those clubs back to the warehouse?
I think he earned the right to take them, and he's going to end up to be the best guy ever to do them.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, that's the coolest thing anybody's ever said to me. So thank you very much, good sir.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
No
Sorry.
push-ups for you.